Today was not a great day. I am full of cold and feeling pretty shitty, and yet I ploughed on and carried on with this, and I made a lot of mistakes along the way, namely fitting the valve stem oil seals prior to fitting the valves, which meant I had to remove them all and then reinstall them. Then when I did install the first couple of valves, a couple of you may notice, but I actually installed cylinder 1 into cylinder 4, so I had to undo them and reinstall them again. And generally just feeling tired and crappy has meant that today has not been a fun experience. Normally this should be a fairly straightforward process, and it hasn't been. I'm going to put this at the beginning of the video just to explain why the rest of the video is so poorly put together and why so many mistakes are being made. I do feel really crappy today, and to be honest I should have just put my feet up and enjoyed the afternoon, but instead, aware of the fact that you know, this project's going on and on and on, I decided to make the most of the afternoon, but unfortunately, as you'll see, I make a few mistakes along the way. So I'm at a point now where I need to fit the new valve stem oil seals. There is a specialist tool for pushing these onto the top of the valve stems. I don't have one, so I'm going to use a socket that mates with the metal surrounding and hopefully won't damage the seals as they get pressed onto the valve stems. You have to excuse me, I'm full of cold at the moment. It is time to start refitting the valves. There is a sequence. For example, I have to put in the metal plate, the thrust shim, I suppose, I don't know what they're called, spring seat, before I then fit the valve stem oil seal. After that's done, we can fit the valve, the springs and the collets. Hopefully this will work, otherwise I'm ordering a new set of valve stem oil seals. Not quite sure how far down that has to be pushed. How do you know when far enough's far enough? Okay, I think the first one's in as far as it'll go. I don't want to overforce it because you can actually bend the metal surrounds on there. Using a torch, it appears to be about as far as it will go. So yeah, I'll do the rest, and if there's any unevenness amongst them, then I guess we'll know something's not quite right. Hello Nimbus. So all the valve stem oil seals are fitted above the spring seats, which are all in place now. So the next job is to fit the valves. Right, I think I'm on a bit of a sticky wicket with this one. The kit for the valve stem oil seals came with these little caps, which I think are designed, I think, to go over the top of the valve stem so that you can drop the seal onto it without damaging the seal. However, there would be no way for me to push those seals home once the valve stem has come through. So we're going to have to try and find another solution to fitting these without tearing up the seals as these come through. Okay, after all that work, there's a slight change in plan. This is an ignorance thing more than anything. So I've removed the first valve stem oil seal because there's no way I want to risk chewing up the seal by pushing this serrated end of the valve through that seal. Chances are it would probably be absolutely fine, but as these are fresh seals that I've just pushed on, they actually come off quite easily. So the plan of action now is to insert the valve, then the seal over the valve, and then build the rest of the valve up. It's a pain in the arse that I didn't realise this beforehand, but that's the learning curve. Okay, valve going up through, and the clear plastic condom on top of that. That pushes over the condom. Yeah, that didn't work. Take two. Push that all the way down. There we go. Condom off. Okay, long socket over the valve stem oil seal. Bit more hassle this way. Okay, that is clearly a method that's now working for us. I've put two valves in, I've not done the rest. So I'm going to fit the springs and the collets to each one as I go along individually. That way we've not got valves flapping about all over the place, potentially getting damaged. So I'll show the first one, and then after that I'll just get on and do the rest. First thing before I get started, I'm going to clean the springs and the collets so that there's no old crap going back into the engine. Now comes the fun bit. Let's come up with a better plan. Do more room to work in. Okay, that might work for us. Oh, is that it? Maybe there. Don't breathe. Many hours of swearing later, all the valves are back in place. This has been a bit of a shit of a job, really. It's not helped that the valves are recessed, sorry, that the springs are recessed, but we got there. I mean, that was an afternoon's work and it should never take that long, but yeah, as I said earlier, feeling a bit crappy, so everything's kind of gone a bit tits up today. Anyway, it's all together now, and so we can progress and move on with our lives and hopefully get this bloody thing back on the car soon. Anyway, that's me done for the day. Adios.